Hello. As part of the full stack project, now first we're going to create a Angular application, and then once we have got few pages working, the main page and the login page. After that, we'll create the Java backend in the Spring Boot. Okay, so let's get started with the Angular app quickly. So I have already installed the Angular client. So I'll go to the client and then I'll start creating the Angular project for this. Okay. So let me first go to the directory where I want to create my Angular project. So I have this directory here, C Neeraj Work full stack project, and here I have Angular. Here I'll create my Angular project. Then later in Java we will create our backend Spring Boot application. So let's start with the Angular first. So I'll go here, and here I want to create my Angular project. So let me open a command window here, so that I can use the Angular client. So using Angular client, Angular CLI, I want to create a project. So I can use ng is for the Angular client, ng. And to create a new project, you will use new and the name of the project. So I can say user service okay, so okay, that's fine. So user service is sufficient. So that's the project name that I want. That's a Angular project I want to create. Okay, and then like I said earlier also, if you want to see the like the reference for this ng command, Angular command, you can go to Angular IO, and here and you can see in the documentation you can see all the all the references and everything. In the reference you go here and you see CLI command reference, and then you can okay, so here if you go down you can see all the ng commands here, ng add and all. So we are using ng new to create a new project. It will create a new workspace and a project within that, right? So ng new and then project name, or ngn in short. So that's what we're going to do here. Okay, so ng new user service. It is asking whether you want to enable the strict checking when TypeScript is the language which is used, this superset of JavaScript. So what kind of checking you want to enable? So if you enable the strict checking, then it enforces the more best practices, and then it will give some more warnings and errors to make your code better. I want to say no for now. Angular routing, yes. And which kind of CSS framework you want to use? I want to use CSS, and it is creating the project now. This is the script that I want to use. Like this is some notes here. So install Node.js. So this was for the Angular setup that we have already done. I'm just doing a quick recap. So we already did the Angular setup right in the first lecture, where we installed in Node.js first, and then when we install Node.js, it also installs the npm package manager. So this npm package manager is used later to install the libraries and all the different tools and packages, right? So for example, for the Angular CLI, we had to use npm install -g Angular CLI, this command, and using this we had already in the first lecture installed our Angular CLI as well, and then we did a ng ---- version, which showed us the version of the CLI. And now this is what we are doing now. So don't go here yet. So here, create Angular application. We already created an ng new user service. Okay, so that's what it is happening here. And I also want to just take a note of this path so that I know where I'm doing this thing. So go to a project directory where you want to create this application, right? So we went to this and then create Angular application by ng new user service. So it has been created. Now, if you go to the project here, Angular, this is the project that has been created, and you can see all the skeleton has been created for this project, and then we can start building the project now from here. Okay, so what I'll do here, I just want to quickly show that because we have already got the skeleton by the CLI, Angular CLI itself, so it gives you the default things, and you can simply start if you want to see what's the default thing as part of this application. If you just run this ng serve, and it will, sorry, it's not this location, it's Angular. So we have, our project has got created under this, so cd user service here, that becomes our root. So now here if you run ng serve, so this command basically it will launch your application in a web server that comes embedded with this Angular. So it is asking whether you want to share data with the Angular team. I don't want to. And now it is going to launch our Angular application in that embedded web server, and by default it is launched on port 4200. It is compiling the code, and now it is all successful, and it's now going to launch the application. It has launched the application here, localhost 4200 port. If you copy this and go here, so this is our default, this is our skeleton project that we have just created. So this is in this shape currently because the code has this default code. So that's what we are seeing here. Okay, now we are going to do, so this is just the project skeleton. Now we will start customizing this project and build our application as per our need. But before, for that we'll need a Angular IDE, because I don't want to go and just edit these files here itself in Notepad or something. So we'll need a Angular IDE. So there are many IDEs available. You can do in Eclipse also, but Eclipse doesn't provide direct support, so you will need some plugin for this. Okay, or you can use a different IDE. So what I am going to do is that I'll be using Angular IDE. It is provided by CodeMix, and it is paid. It is not free, but it gives you 45 days free. So I'm going to use it, and it's a good IDE. So I think let me use that. So I'll use Angular IDE. So Angular IDE by CodeMix. So this is the URL for that. You can go here, simply download it and launch it. Okay. So now this is what we are going to do now. Change the landing page first, right? So because I want to show, okay, before that, let me create a workspace. I already have few projects here, so we are seeing those projects. But for this new project, I want to create a new workspace first in the IDE, and then we'll import this project in that Angular IDE. So I already have a location specified here. I want to use this ng workspace, ngws. Currently nothing, but this I want to use as the workspace for this particular project. So I'm going to create a new workspace. So I'll specify the location here, this one. and then I'll import my project there. Very similar to Eclipse, right? So it's like Eclipse, like IDE. So you have a workspace, and then you start importing your projects here. So where is my project? I'll go here, full stack project, and here within Angular, this is the user service that we have just created. So this is our project. I want to import it here. So I go here, import Angular project. And this is the root directory we just copied. Okay, so it is importing here now. So now we have got the Angular project, a new Angular project created, and we have imported it in our Angular IDE. Now we can start making changes here. I'll also show you the important files, and I'll also talk about the structure of this project. So first let me, okay, so this is a main page, right? And okay, so this is a project structure. I want to quickly talk about the project structure and then important files. And then after that, I'll start customizing the application. So first thing would be to customize this page, right? I want, instead of this page, I want to create my own page. And then from there, we'll take it further. Okay, so this is the structure. And if you see here, user service, so that's the project we have created. Then we have E2E. So this folder is for the testing end to end. And then there's a node modules. So node modules contains all the libraries here, right? So when we are building the project, it has got some default libraries already when we created the skeleton of the project. So those are available here. And then later when we need more libraries, right? So we will download them, install them, and then those will be available here in the under the node modules. Okay. So, and then after that we have source SRC, and I'll come to this later, but this is the SRC, this is source code. We have all the source present in here. So I'll come here later. Then we have this angular.json. So that's the configuration file for this Angular project, right? So if you can see here, main thing here is that new project roots projects, and this is the projects. This contains the configuration for the projects. So like I said, when you create the Angular using an Angular project using ng new, it basically creates a workspace and then a default project within that workspace. Okay, so that's how you're seeing what projects here. You can have multiple projects here. Okay, so currently we have this one project, user service, and this is all the configuration for that. But if you want to create another project here itself, you can create that as well. So then you will start seeing another project here. So in the projects we have user service, then you have, let's say, a trade service, then you can have that project also. It will start showing after that here, right? So whatever number of projects you are creating in the workspace, they will start showing in this angular.json, and for each project you will see one configuration here. Under the projects, it is user service. If you have another project, then that will also start showing just below this. And then there's a default project. So by default, like I said, we have just created this project. So it will take this user service as the default project here. Okay, so when we use ng-serve command to launch the application, or when we try to ng-build, when we don't specify anything, you can also specify with ng-serve a project name, or with the ng-build, you can specify a project name which you want to build. But if you don't specify anything, it will take the default one. It's the default here user service. So it's going to take this one, and it will load the corresponding configuration from here, and that will be launched. Now for this user service, you can see the important things are here, that in your options, you can see the main file, the index, which is the entry point for this project, right? So index, that's the index.html. Okay, within the source, right? So source index.html, that becomes the entry point. If you want to give some other name, you can make changes here. Then we have main also. It is main.ts. So when you launch the application through the client, to the Angular client, then how does it know which from where to load our application? So that's that entry point, main.ts. If you go here, this is the main.ts here, and here it will tell you platform browser dynamic bootstrap module. So that's the bootstrap module. So if you go here, app module, it's just loading. Okay, so that becomes our app module here, right? So I'll link it. So that's the app module under the source. So this is the default skeleton which is created under the app. We currently have just one module, app module, and this one component. This is app component. Later we will create more module and component as per our need, but this becomes the default one, and that has been linked with that main.ts, which means that when we launch the application from here, it will bootstrap with this module. Okay, and then this module, if you see here, it is bootstrapping app component, which is this one, app component. It comes here, and then corresponding template URL, app component.html, that will be loaded in the browser. So this is app component.html. So that will be loaded in the browser, and that's what we are seeing here when we launch index.html through that. Okay, this is the entry point. Okay, so Angular.json is the configuration for the project, where you see we have the like all the projects in the workspace and the configuration for that. Okay, and then you can specify your options here, like index, which index file you want to use it. And so you can have index.html. If you want to use some other name, then you change it here and use that different HTML file as your entry point. Okay, you can also specify some other things that I'll show here. And this is the assets folder, that like JavaScript or any CSS that I want to use, they will be loaded from source assets folder. And this becomes the default CSS file for this particular project under source src styles.css. So under src styles.css, this one becomes the default CSS for this project. So anything which you want to use, any styling across the website, you can put it here. Okay, so this is a angular.json here, and then we have the package.json and package log.json. So this package.json is basically, it has all the libraries information, right? So all the libraries which you are using, that information, all the dependencies, right? That information is available here. Okay, and then when you do npm install at this place, like if you, and then it will start loading these dependencies, and it will put them here under the node modules. Okay, so node modules will be like, if you want to share this project with somebody, you don't even need to share the node modules. When somebody has all the rest of the project and someone goes to this location and runs the npm install, it will start installing all the libraries, all the dependencies, and will create all the node modules here. Package.json is this thing, and then if you see here package.json, it's this sign here, and then the version, major, minor, and then patch version. Okay, so with the package.json, so what happens that when you share this project with somebody, when people run the npm install, the package log.json is used. So here what happens that this uses the exact version that will be installed. If package log.json was not there, then it would cause a problem, because this way it loads the major, minor like this, but instead of the fixed version, it will go for the latest patch version, right? So in that way, like your code have what, like maybe your code has been written with these dependencies, and then if somebody is using npm install on with this package.json, then they may get a later version of this thing, and that may not work with your code, right? So that's why this package log.json is used. So every time you make some changes, a different version is used. These files are updated. Package log.json will be also updated, but here it is a fixed thing, right? So it doesn't have a later, like somebody uses your project now and tries to build tries to install the project using npm install, it will go for exact version and download that and make them available under the node modules. Okay, so this is like if you want to see an analogy, I would say this tsconfig dot sorry package this one package.json is like a pom.xml in Java, right? So pom.xml has all the different dependencies defined, and then when you run mvn like maven command, it downloads all those dependencies and make them available in your local repository. Similarly, this package.json has the information about all the dependencies that it needs, and when you run the npm install command, it will download all of these libraries and make them available under node modules. So node modules you can see like a repository for your node, the Angular project, right? So in Java, if you want to compare with Java, this can be seen as the Maven repository. So this is node modules. Here you get all your libraries, and then packet.json is where you specify your dependencies. Okay. So then we have this tsconfig.json, app.json, right? Application specific, and this is the JSON tsconfig.json, where it has the configuration for the TS, which is TypeScript, right? So when we are using TypeScript, so Angular uses TypeScript as the programming language. So some configuration for that, right? Source output directory is this, and all these things, right? Some configurations here. And then tslint.json, this is also this lint is the TypeScript kind of, it will tell you to enforce the best practices basically. So the TypeScript has like some best practices. So when you run this lint, nglint, if you run nglint here, it will analyze your code, all the code, and it will tell you, okay, where are some problems, right, against the best practices that it has. And those best practices are specified here, right? For example, like if there should be any spacing between the words, right, after the statement or something like that, and other things as well. So this is for that purpose, lint. We can run this command just to see how our code is, and then you can fix the problems. Okay, so this is a skeleton, and then under the src, this is app, where our code will go, right? Currently by default it creates one module, app module, and one component that's called app components. So these 4 files, so app component.ts, app component spec, HTML and CSS. Whenever you create a component, it will create 4 files for them. This is the TypeScript file where our logic goes. This is HTML where the corresponding HTML goes. And this is the CSS cascading style sheet for that particular component only. And this is spec is for the testing purpose that you can write here. Okay, so this comes as the default. And then there's an app routing module. So app routing is used to identify the routes, right? So when we start writing a project, so a particular path, how does that path map to a component, right? So that mapping goes in here. If somebody writes a path like with your application URL, when you specify a path, which page should be loaded, right? Or which screen should be loaded, that mapping goes here, right? So as we start building, we'll see all these things, all those concepts. But keep in mind, these are the default things. When you create skeleton, app module becomes your main module, default module. Then app routing module, it's for the routing module is for the routings. You will specify your routes here, any path, and the corresponding component that should be loaded. And this also gets created, app component, as your default component. You can see in the HTML here, this is all the default HTML, and that was shown here. Okay, so this is app, and then we have assets folder where you put all your CSS and JavaScript which is required for your project. Then we have environments, right? So in Angular, you can specify some environment specific configuration as well for devs, for example, development platform, testing platform, production platform, right? All these environments, you can have different files, right? So for example, your backend server for development could be one, for your test could be a different server, and in production it will be a different server. So your server URL, maybe you can specify here, right? This is one variable currently, but you can also specify one more here as the server URL, right? Something like this, server URL, and you can specify something here, right? So this one is for the development by default. This prod is for production, but you can create more configurations as well. We'll talk about this. So that's the environment, and then these whatever you specify here, these variables can be used across your source code. Then this is the index.html. That was our entry point, which gets loaded here when you go and type this localhost 4200 here. Okay, and we already talked about main.ts, that when you launch the application through the client, then that becomes your entry point, and that's how your Angular client knows that which module to be loaded into, because you can have multiple projects here, right? So how will Angular know that which project needs to be loaded? So that's how it knows. By default, when we don't specify here, we just say ng-serve, it goes for the default project in the angular.json. Here it will go here for the default project, and default project is user service, so it will go and check the configuration for the user service, like I think I already explained it, but here we go for the user service, and then for user service we'll check what is the main. Under the build, you'll see the main, and main is the main.typescript. So that's how it knows that which file to be loaded. So it goes to this TypeScript file, and from here it comes to know that okay, we have to load app module. It will go here, right? So that's how it goes. If there are multiple projects, that's how it links which project is to be loaded when you run the ng-serve, right? You can, if you specify some other project here, then if you go to that other project's main.ts, and then that main.ts will have link to some other module. Okay, so it comes to app routing module, and here it knows that okay, this is the app component, so it comes here, and then you can see here it's linked to here, and then from this app component or ts, it knows that this is the corresponding HTML which is here, so it loads this thing. Okay, and then when you access it through the browser using localhost 4200, then it opens this, it goes to index.html, and in the index.html it sees that okay, we have to go to, this is a component here, app root component, and this component is linked to here, this base component which was created, app component.ts. Here you can see the selector is the same thing, app root. So if you want to use this component somewhere, you need to use this selector. So that's what we have used in the index.html, this one. So it means that it has to load this app component.ts. So there's no logic here to be executed, so it will simply go to the corresponding HTML and load it. So this is the corresponding HTML, and that will be loaded in the on the page here. So that's how it is being displayed. Okay, so I think this is about the project structure, and we have talked about the important files. Now the next thing we want to do is that I just want to do one thing here, and that is that instead of this page, I want to just change it something so that I'll start showing that now we are customizing it, right? So I'll write something like header here. This page, that's how I want to break header, and then I want to have a main section that will be loaded, and then I want to have a footer section. I want to show that this is the structure of the project that I want to, on my main page, the landing page here, this page, I want to show something like this. I'll create a header, I'll create a footer section, then I want to have a main section where my main content will start appearing. So I want to use 3 components, like one for header, one for this section, main section where I'll start showing all the main content, and one footer section. So mostly header and footer will start showing up throughout the website, and this section will keep loading the page or the screen that we are interested in or that we navigate to. Okay, so if you save it, you can see here that that page has been changed now because we have customized it. So I'll just write, just to show it, I just put a BR, just to show that this is how we want to do. Okay, so that's we have customized that the default page, and now it has come like this, and it is just hard-coded thing. But now the idea is that I'll be, maybe in the next lecture, I'm going to create 3 components, one for header, one for main section, and one for footer section. So these will be 3 nicely created components, and then it will start showing a good page. Okay, so that will be that we are going to do quickly, shortly after some time. But before that, I just want to show one more thing, and that is that I want to access this application not just by this, but I also want to specify a reference here, like a user service, something like this. It's currently not linked in, there's nothing linked with the user service, so it is not able to do that. But I want to access this application like this, so that if I have multiple projects here, a user service, then let's say a trade service or something else, then I can access them with their service names. So to do this, what I need to do is that I need to use a command like this, ng-build, and we need to specify a base reference, base href, its user service, and deploy URL user service, okay, like this. So if you build the application like this, once the application is built, we'll do the ng-serve to load the application. Okay, it's built now. Now if I do ng-serve, okay, so it's done now. If you go back again to the localhost, to the browser here, and if we try to access it, so we have built it, but I'm going to launch the application ng-serve. I want to serve it with that base href and deploy URL. So base href is deprecated. Use the base href option in the browser builder itself. We'll come to this deprecation thing, but before that, let me try it again. So now you don't get loaded this page here, because now it is served with this user service base href. Okay, so now that's what we wanted, and I wanted to access my application through this URL with the name of the service, right? So it's working, it's fine, but like here it is complaining that it has been deprecated, and we should use the option in the browser builder instead. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm stopping it for now. And instead of building it again and again with this base href and deploy URL, the base href and deploy URL, right? Instead of like this, what we have to do, what it's complaining here, just configure them in the angular.json, and then you don't need to specify every time here. Okay, so we'll go here in the angular.json. So that's the angular.json. And then for this project, user service, we'll come here and then build, and here we have options, and under the options we can just somewhere we can maybe, let's say here, I'll specify that base href, this thing. So like this, base href, like this. So we have specified base href. Similarly, we are going to specify the other one, that's the deploy URL. So deploy URL, and then okay, so we have specified the base href and deploy URL here itself with the user service. So now I'm going here again, and this time I want to build the application, but I will build it like this, just the ng build. I don't have to specify here the base href. So actually for this base href and deploy URL, so this is the base href there in the command, right? But the property is not like this. Property is like this, base href and deploy URL. These are the properties. If you check the schema of this Angular.json, you will come to know about this thing. So this is the base href and deploy URL like this. Okay, take a note of this maybe. So if you see here, this is the command ng build with the base href. So here this is base underscore href. But if I don't want to use this base href and deploy URL again and again, but what I need to do, I need to specify this base href and deploy URL as properties. So I'll go here in the Angular.json, and here in the build options, I'll specify base href and deploy URL as the properties. It's here like this here, already mentioned. I did not see maybe. So yeah, that's take a note. Instead of base href, when you specify as properties in Angular.json, you will specify like this. Okay, so now it's all done here. And if I go back to the client and run the ng build, it will build the application. Now we don't need to specify the base href. It will take it from the Angular.json, and then we will simply, to launch the application, we'll simply do the ng serve. We don't need to specify the base href every time. And then once it launches the application, we'll go to the browser and access the application with the user service. Okay, so that's how I want to access my application, like this. If I refresh it, it's loading now. Okay, if I try to access like this, it's not working because now I want to access it like this. Okay, so I think that's what we wanted to do in this section, in this lecture today. We have, just to summarize what we have done so far, is that we had Angular environment setup already done. And then in this lecture, we created a project. We went to this directory where we wanted to create our project, and then we did ng new user service. Our project got created. we imported that project in our Angular IDE. And then I talked about all the different files, important configurations. I talked about the project structure. And then we also saw that if I want to access this application like localhost 4200 and with a name of the, like some name to the project, user service, then I can specify that with the base href here and deploy URL. You can specify that and then you can start accessing that like that only. And you don't even need to specify here when you build or run the project, launch the project. You can do ng build without specifying the base href and deploy URL. Similarly, when you launch the application, you can simply say ng serve and it will launch that application with that base href that has been configured in the deploy URL, and base href have been already configured in the angular.json here. Okay, this thing. Okay, so that's the end of this lecture, and in the next lecture we are going to customize this main page, this page, to make it look good. Okay, thanks for joining, and see you shortly.